wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but at the same time, not really memorable. There were moments in Pokemon Detective Pikachu that stood out, but they were few and far between. That's the saying right there. So I'll just get the bad stuff out of the way first. The main character, can't remember his name, speaks to really the show I'm talking about the video game and then the TV show. The main character, I can't remember his name, as I said. The actor's name I know is Justice Smith. I think he was really bad in this film. Easy to say, you know, you can just say whatever you want, I guess, but I really don't think he was very good in this film. I don't think the main girl was very good in this film. I can't remember her name. Basically, what I'm saying is Ryan Reynolds saved this film and made it bearable. If it wasn't for him as Pikachu, and Ken Watanabe was fine in the scenes he was in. Ken Watanabe is an incredible actor, so I sort of felt he wasn't done good in this film. But he was done dirty. But Ryan Reynolds completely saved this movie. Because if he wasn't in it, I think it wouldn't have made any money. I think critics and fans alike would have not engaged with the film in the way they have. Because people enjoy the film. They're saying it's fine. It's fine. Some of the visuals are very cool. But it's Ryan Reynolds' snappiness and improvisation and absolute randomness that makes this film work. And I think maybe it's a good idea that they decided to go with a shoot spin-off story as opposed to the traditional Pokemon story with Ash and Gary and Misty and all that jazz. Because maybe this was a tester to see if we would want that story. And I'm not sure that we're at the point where we want that story yet. And I'm not sure that the CGI is there to give us that story properly, because while the CGI was good about 70% of the time, it was actually bad 30% of the time. Not like, oh, it was a bit shoddy, it could have been a bit better. It was actually bad. Like Black Panther third act bad. It was terrible. And yes, you could say, well, they look like video games. They're video game characters, alright? They're supposed to look like video games, but they should have some realism to them. Some of the Pokemon looked great. I think they actually did a solid job with Pikachu. They made him look almost real in a way, which is impressive. I think the Charizard didn't look bad either. Mewtwo looked odd. Yeah, it was a hard one. I think they did as good a job as they could with that, but I thought Gyarados looked really bad. The Bulbasaurs, I didn't like the look of them either. I think the color contrast were just a bit too much with them. Overall, most of the Pokemon looked fine, but it just sort of took you out a little bit when looking at them sometimes. And, I mean, they did have a pretty large budget with the film, $150 million. So it's not a Avengers Endgame 300 million, but, you know, it's not pittance. And, I mean, the film's made more than enough money now. So I think it's made 420 million, I think. 425. It will probably end up 430 maybe if it gets a couple more weeks to run in theaters. So it's probably broken even at about 400 mil, 390 mil. So it's made money now, which is good, I guess. I mean, do I want a second film of this? I'd watch it. I don't know if I really want it. I'm not like, I want a second Detective Pikachu film. Plus, it doesn't really work with how the film ended. It wouldn't really be Detective Pikachu again. Wow, yeah, I didn't think about that till just now. They can't really do a sequel. It doesn't really make sense. Not because anyone dies or anything. I'm not going to be like, oh, this person died, this died. Just, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, it's been out for like a month now, 3 weeks. I'm just late. I'm always late. But yeah, a sequel to this film doesn't really work in the same way. Yeah, wow. Maybe this is it. Maybe they were testing the water with this so that eventually they will do the Ash Ketchum storyline. And this is the thing. I'm a Pokemon fan. I mean, not so much anymore. All right. I'm a bit aged for that, but I still bust out, you know, Pokemon Soul Silver on a DS once in a while. You know, that was by far my favorite Pokemon game. Gold was good, not Heart Gold, just Gold. I never played Heart Gold. It was just basically Soul Silver, just with a couple of different Pokemon switched out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a Pokemon fan. You know, I've been a fan for maybe 15 years. I don't watch the anime anymore. Yeah, I haven't watched it for a good couple of years actually. But you know, there's an intrinsic story there, which is someone having to catch them all. I don't want to make the age-old joke of what are you trying to catch, but he's trying to catch something, you know? He should achieve his goal and go and catch whatever he wants to catch. It does amaze me that they didn't decide to age the character up at all in all the years I watched it. Maybe they've aged him up now a little bit, but it is weird they just chose to keep him as like a 12-year-old boy. I mean, it's been like 25 years, guys. Maybe give him a couple of years. Maybe make him 16 now. But no, it's sort of like what they do in Japan. They like the age down stuff. They like, maybe it's, I don't know if it's nostalgia per se, but they like the like Peter Pan type scenario where there's a kid and you're living through the kid vicariously as opposed to living through adults. They like maybe reliving their childhood. I don't know. I'm just spewing absolute nonsense now. But yeah, the film was fine. Back to, wow, that took a really long, weird turn. The film was fine. Nothing special. As I said, I can't remember any of the main characters' names, which is terrible. That is so bad. Bill Nye was in this film. I completely forgot that Bill Nye was in this film. What the hell? What was this? Oh, I'm glad that it was only like an hour and 30 minutes long. I think the runtime was good. They didn't want to give us a 2-hour film because I think people would have just clocked out. So they did a good job by cutting the runtime, making sure it wasn't 2+ hours long. I feel movies should do that more nowadays. A film doesn't need to be 2 hours just for the sake of it, or 2 hours, 20 minutes. You can have an 80, 90-minute film, and if it's good, people will enjoy it. I mean, A Quiet Place, I remember, was like 90 minutes or 80-something minutes. Great film. It didn't need to be longer. This film, not necessarily a great film, but it definitely didn't need to be longer. The film could have been better. I just don't know exactly how I would have made this story better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a particularly... Again, it comes down to the performances, though, as well. I just don't think that the guys gave a particularly good performance on screen. I don't think anyone gave a good performance on screen that was there physically. Like, Ryan Reynolds was the saving grace. Everyone else just felt a bit lackluster. Probably like this video right now. In terms of the story, it was pretty see-through. I think most people would have been able to see from the get-go, really. There was not really a term which shocked me. I think if you're a kid, you're like 6, you'll be like, oh, that's mad. What just happened, guys? But if you're over the age of like 14, you probably saw through this from like the first 5 minutes as to how the story was going to unfold and what was going to happen. I think they wanted to give a twist, but it was so see-through and so un-M. Night Shyamalan that it just didn't work at all. Bit unfortunate. You have to give credit where credit is due, and I think that one of the fun things for any Pokemon fan of any generation, whether it's 1 all the way through to the current one, I don't know if that's 6 or more than that now, it was cool picking out all the Pokemon and being like, oh shit, Snorlax like looks sick, or a Machamp looks pretty good, you know? I mean, he looks solid. And Lickitung and seeing all these Pokemon on screen was really, really cool. Like I said, though, unfortunately, when they didn't look so good and the designs were a bit poor, it was a bit disheartening. And this is the thing. I think that the people behind the film, I think it was Rob Letterman who directed it. I'm pretty sure he directed Goosebumps as well from like 2014, I think. I feel the people behind the film clearly gave a shit about the product they were putting out, and they wanted to serve the fan base something that they would enjoy. And I think they did that. I just, again, feel it was a bit of a meh film overall. I think it was fun, it was bright, it was colourful, but I wanted it to be the film which sort of, you know, the video game what's it called when witches, the Hex, that's what it's called. Wow, I'm losing my mind. The video game Hex, where like no video game films do particularly well, they don't make any money. At least this one's made money, that's a good start. Maybe just the quality then needs to be upped, because yeah. So, very in-depth review here. Went off on tangents, said random shit. What would I give the film out of 10 though? If it was to to rate this film, I think I would give it a, I just remembered there was a funny scene with a Magikarp, alright? It had to be put in there. It made me chuckle, alright? Laughing about it now. Wow, so easily impressed. But if I were to rate the film, I'd probably give it a floundering, just like a Magikarp. 5.5 out of 10. I give it a 5.5, alright? It was fine. Nothing special, though. And I think most people would probably agree with that. Even super hardcore Pokemon fans, till right now, to this day, will probably agree that the film was fine, but not really memorable. Sad, but true. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then MEWTWO himself will come after you. They did as good a job with him as they could, I think, CGI-wise. So, not gonna hate on that. But he'll come after you, and you don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. Now, I've been NarendraTheComic. You have been great. I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.